sure what day this will be posted, so I can't welcome you back to a certain day. But let's just be happy that I am continuing to pre-film, which means I am enjoying Vlogmas and all of that it brings. So my absolute favorite, like top of the line, very first thing I click on when I log into YouTube are Storytime videos. I don't know if you know what a Storytime video is, but a Storytime video is basically a YouTuber telling you a story about something that happened to them. Could have been crazy, could have like a really crazy story, it could have been a really sad story, basically anything. So this is my first attempt at a Storytime video. So the story I'm going to be telling you guys today is pretty short because honestly I never really know if a video is going to turn out or if I'm like a video until I'm editing it and it's playing back to me, because then I realize, oh my goodness, that's so boring, or oh my god, that was so funny, or oh my goodness, this would look so good if I put music behind it. So I'm not really sure how these story times are going to work out, so I'm just going to tell you a short one this time. This is a story about when my brother and I got stuck in the Haiti airport in Port-au-Prince for 8 hours with basically no food and no water, and at some points no electricity. So let's jump into that. So in August of 2012, my brother and I decided that we were going to go on a volunteer trip together to Haiti. It was, I think they had the earthquake in 2010 maybe, I'm not 100% sure on that, don't quote me, but they had the earthquake. They were still cleaning up after it. A lot of people were still living in what they call tent villages, which, like, let me tell you, they weren't even tents, honestly. Like, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. They literally had, like, ropes tied from, like, tree to tree, and then a tarp that went over it, and, like, most of the tarps were, like, had UNICEF written on them and everything, so it's not even, like, things that, like, they had. They just tied the tarps up and made a wall, made, like, 4 walls, and then put one over top as, like, a roof, and that's what they were considering their tent to live in, and a family of, like, 7 would live in one of those with, like, a single bed, and that's it. Family of 7. Basically, they were still rebuilding after the earthquake, so we went with a company to help build what they were considered duplexes down there for families. So when we went, I think we completed 2 duplexes, so 4 homes, so for 4 families, and then we almost had finished a 3rd one. So we had almost gotten 6 families new homes. The day before we left, we were told that there was a hurricane, and the day before we left, they canceled all the flights from Port-au-Prince out. So everybody we were flying out Saturday. Everybody from Friday that was supposed to fly out Friday was stuck and had to stay an extra day. So knowing that, everybody in our group got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, got in the van, and drove 2 hours to the airport. On the drive to the airport, we saw, like, some crazy damage going on. Like I said, a lot of people were living in these, like, tents that weren't actually tents. Luckily, a lot of the families who already had, like, built structures invited those families into their homes, so they were safe from the rain and the wind and all of that gross stuff that was happening. So anyway, we get to the airport. So we're in the airport. Well, no, we're not even in the airport. We look outside, and the line to check into your flight and to go through security and all that stuff is outside the airport. I have never in my life, mind you, I've never been to Disney World, but I've never in my life stood in a line this long. It was crazy. It went from the inside of the airport all the way outside. So out of the, like, 12, 15, however many of us, there were 3 of us, me, my brother, and one other girl on one flight, and everybody else was on the other. So we get to the airport, the lineup is crazy. We finally get in the line, and then the guy who was like staying in Haiti, I don't know what his role was in the company. He was the boss guy. He was the guy to figure shit out for us, basically. At one point in time, we had probably been standing in line for a couple minutes at this point. We got to move up a little bit because he was talking to somebody. I don't know how that worked, but David, the other lady, and I all moved up in the line a little bit. So at this, it's probably like 11 or 11:30 at this point, and mine and David's flight was supposed to go at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We hadn't checked in. We had only moved like maybe 10 steps up in line. The power went out. It was going crazy, and all of a sudden, we look over, and everybody else who was in the other lineup, because they flew with a different airline, is going through security and into the waiting area, your gate. Going through security and into their gate. And that's when panic mode really set in for me. I was like, what the hell? The people that we came with are gone. The leaders of the group are gone. What the hell are we supposed to do? So that was my little panic moment. Somebody ended up coming back out and helping us. We were still standing in line. It was probably like 1 or 2 in the afternoon at this point. Our flight, we should have been through security and basically on a plane. And we still hadn't ate since breakfast. Starving, like talk about hungry. So we finally we're up in line a little bit. We finally find somebody from the company that we came with. We told them that we were like stuck here. We weren't sure what to do. We didn't want other people to get on the plane and then us be stuck here. We told them that we were starving. We haven't ate. There's nowhere to eat. They go out to the car and get us, I'm not even kidding you, bread, like a loaf of bread that I remember us going to the grocery store and buying a loaf of bread and some meat, like sandwich meat. There was I think there was 3 slices of meat, like 1 slice per person. And we each had some bread and a piece of meat on it, and that was lunch. That's literally all we got to eat. And at that point, we still hadn't checked our bags in, talked to an airport security person, talked to an airport person at all. We were still like just waiting. Then the power legit goes out. Like, it's out, that's it, it's not coming back on. It was flickering for a while when they were going through security and stuff like that, but no, it was just out. And that was when like pure chaos started. And I mean chaos. When the power went out, I was standing in the front of the line to get the bag checked and looked at. And when you leave Haiti, they don't have, like, for your checked baggage, they don't have like a big scanny thing like in Canada or in Halifax where I'm from. They don't have any of that stuff. They just literally open your bag in front of you and somebody moves your shit around and looks in it, and then if there's nothing in it that they can see, they close it and they send it off, and that's it. So that's where I was. I was standing waiting for our bags to get checked, and my brother had moved up to this lineup where you get your boarding passes and things like that. And that lineup was getting really congested, really pushy, especially when like the final power outage went out. When the final power outage went out, David kind of got like pushed because of all the people just trying to get through at that point. And David had a moment of panic, and he was looking at me and he was screaming, Catherine, get over here. Come over here now. Get over here now. He was so panicked. He was so, I don't know what he was panicked. Probably just because it was the commotion and everything. So panicked. I was like, I can't. I got to get our bags done. Blah, blah, blah. He took a deep breath. We made it through. So finally, we get our bags checked. I go up to where David is. And now, if we were waiting in Canada or in Halifax, where I'm from, in line to get our boarding pass, it would be a single file line, or like, you know, families together. And then as a family, you would all go up, or as an individual person, you would go up. That is not what happened. It was literally pure chaos. It was like, as soon as you got to the front and there was a little bit of space in front of the person behind the desk, you just had to push your way up there, because it was literally like, when we got our passports taken, my brother was like flinging the passports like this in front of the lady's face to try to get her to take ours instead of the 1,000 people that were beside us and behind us trying to get theirs taken. So finally, they are literally phone calling in all of our boarding passes, handwriting all the boarding passes out. Oh my God, it took forever. So finally, this is probably like 5 p.m. now. Mind you, we left our spot at 5 a.m. So 12 hours later, we just get a boarding pass. That's it, nothing else. Just get a boarding pass. We still have not gone through security. We still haven't gotten, or anything like that. We still haven't gone through security. We haven't gotten to the gate. We still don't even know if there's a plane coming for us at this point, because it's 5 p.m. and our flight was supposed to leave at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we get our boarding passes and we go to what I assumed at the time was security. Not security. It was customs. In Haiti, you can get through customs before you walk through any type of security. I mean, you get your passport stamped, you get your little thingy all stamped and handed back in, and all that crap that you have to do to get out of the country before you even walk through a metal detector. Before you even walk through a metal detector. They're like, yep, she's good to get out of the country. Boom. They didn't even know. So anyway, we get our passports stamped, all that crap. We go through security, and we're finally at the gate. We get through the gate, and who do we find? The whole 15 or 17 other people that we went to Haiti with. Turns out they may have gotten through. Shh. Hey. Man, I know you're watching this. Your bird is so annoying. So, line may have moved faster to get their boarding passes, but they had no plane to get on. So we may have been stuck out there, out in the waiting area, but they were still stuck at the gate. So we really didn't have to panic at that point. Then we waited until I think 8:30, 8:45 before we boarded a plane, and we didn't even leave Haiti until around 9 o'clock. So finally we're on a plane. Finally we get home. It was probably the scariest thing that has ever happened to me. I've never been outside of Canada. That was the first time I ever left the country. The first time I ever saw poverty like that, or the first time I ever saw like a third world country or anything like that. And honestly, the biggest culture shock for me at least was coming home and seeing everything that we had, not staying there, not going there and seeing it. It's like coming back and thinking, oh wow, like the first thing I did when we landed in New Jersey was go to Subway. We were so hungry, like starving. And like they don't have that, and like that was the first thing I thought. Like I got the sub and I was so excited to eat it because I was so hungry, and honestly I just wanted like an American kind of food or a North American kind of food, not a Haitian kind of food. So, but to think that like we're so privileged that we ate during that day, but we were still so hungry, and that was the biggest culture shock for me, was coming home, not going there. We get to New Jersey, it's like 2 in the morning. We call our parents and everybody to let them know that we're safe. David and I then took a shuttle to a hotel, slept for 2 hours, went back to the New Jersey airport, and flew back to Halifax. It was the most tiresome, scary experience I've ever had. I'm beyond grateful that my brother was there. I would not have ever been able to make that or go through all that without David. That's the story of the time that my brother and I almost got stuck in Haiti because of a hurricane. So, yeah. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Let me know if you like the Storytime videos, and comment down below if you'd like to see more Storytime. Let me know what you think. Happy Vlogmas. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Check out our other social medias in the links down below. And we'll see you tomorrow for another Vlogmas video. Bye, guys.